So I wanted to do a quick video today on starting your business. Just some things that you might need to know about bank accounts. Should you do an SCORP or an LLC, or just be a sole proprietor and use your social security number? And I'll tell you what I did. And I'm going to talk about some other things that are important to think about when you start your business and when you grow your business. So first things first is when you start taking money from clients, they're going to pay you, let's just say, for example, your rate is $100. They're going to be paying you $100. Now you have to pay taxes on that as a self-employed person. So the most important thing to remember is, first of all, as a self-employed person, you pay self-employment taxes. Your clients give you cash, they give you credit card, whatever. You're going to need to start putting away about 30% of your income for self-employment tax. This is in the United States, of course. So for every $100 you make, you'll probably keep about 70 of it, and $30 is going to go to taxes. So make sure you're putting that aside. The other thing to note is, if you're going to be working for yourself, of course, you are going to want to get a business bank account, so that this is where all your transactions go in and out of. Money that clients give you go there, money goes out of there for business expenses. You can, that way, if you need to get like a credit line, you would borrow it and it would go into that account. Like, keep a business bank account separate from your personal account. The other thing that you should do is you can get a tax ID number and still be a sole proprietor. Sorry about that. When you're ready, you can become an SCORP or an LLC. And it's important to talk to your tax accountant about what's best for you. I believe as an SCORP, you have to be a practitioner, a doctor or something like that, lawyer, dentist, therapist. LLC is more for other types of businesses. So musicians, artists would form LLC. So I think coaches could fall under an LLC. I don't think coaches fall under an S-Corp. So, but definitely check with your accountant. Do not take my word for it. This is very important that you check with your accountant. You may opt to wait until your business has grown and you're making, enough money that you feel like it's your full-time job, right? So whatever that entails, maybe it's 30 grand a year, maybe it's 60 grand a year, maybe it's 6 figures a year, whatever. I think once you get to that place where it's your full-time job, that's when you should be really clear about the designation, S-Corp, LLC, or sole proprietor. And make sure you talk with your accountant about what's best for you. S-Corps do cost a certain amount a year, but they bypass taxes. So you're taxed on your personal income, but not on your business. If you're a sole proprietor, it's all the same. So I think getting clear about that with your accountant is key. When you start a business also, if you're in the Southern California or any part of California or any state, you may need to get a state business license, and you will probably need to pay state business taxes as well. So definitely look into that. In the city of LA, for example, you don't need a business license, but you do need to pay business tax. And it's kind of tricky, like if you live in West Hollywood, it's separate from the city of Los Angeles. If you live in the city of Burbank, it's separate from Los Angeles. So based on where your business is going to be, you're going to have different rules. So business license and business tax, make sure you investigate that and find out what is required for you as a business owner to operate a business wherever you're located. So if you operate a business out of state, I guess this is more for licensed therapists. So if you're a therapist like in California, but you're operating in another state, you would have to pay California taxes as well as the state that you're in taxes. So get really clear with that with your accountant as well. The other thing, just some other things to consider as you grow your business. You will be able to itemize most things if you're self-employed. So your cell phone, if you have an office space, your car. A lot of things can be write-offs. Any office supplies that you buy, your laptop, all of that is expensible. So definitely keep all of your receipts, because like I said, you're paying that self-employment tax. And, oh, I forgot to mention this. You're paying that self-employment tax every quarter. It's called estimated tax. So your first year in business, you may not really know how much you're going to need to be paying an estimated tax. But by the time you're in your second year of business, you should have a good idea of how much you should be paying an estimated tax. It's about a third. So every quarter, you should be paying about a third. Now, if you're putting a third of your money away every month, then every third month, you will give that money to the IRS, okay? Your tax accountant can help you set it up. Typically, it gets set up through eftps.gov, or you can do like written payments, checks. But again, this is something that you absolutely should set up with your accountant. So get an accountant. I don't care if it's H&R Block. Get someone to help you with estimated tax for self-employment, okay? Very important, because if you don't pay your taxes on time, if you're not paying them quarterly like we're supposed to as employees, so when you're an employee, you're getting taxed, you're paying your quarterly taxes. But when you're self-employed and you don't pay those taxes, the IRS will fine you. So your taxes will end up being more at the end of the year. So you don't, end up paying more when you can save that money? So just start paying estimated tax. The other thing to note is that since you're deducting everything, your taxes, so you're paying the estimated tax, and then at the end of the year when you're filing your taxes with your accountant, you're gonna be deducting all of the things that you bought that year. So everything that you bought for your business, gas, any trips you took where you worked, even if that means you went on a vacation, but you brought your laptop and you did some work, like that's a work trip. Let's say you went on vacation, but you met someone and you ended up doing a session with them. That's work. Maybe you went to a party and you let people know that you're a sex coach. That's work. All of these things can be taken off of your taxes as deductions. So keep receipts. If you're bad at keeping receipts, but everything's like on your card, a really cool thing to do is get QuickBooks. QuickBooks is a really great way to itemize all of your deductions throughout the year. And then when it's time for taxes, it's already all itemized, so you don't have to do any extra work, at least not too much if you're doing it right. You can have a bookkeeper or someone who's good at finance, a friend, set up your QuickBooks for you. You can do it yourself pretty easily if you're number savvy like that. I'm very much not. So I do my taxes in a very different way. Most accountants that do your taxes can give you a worksheet at the end of the year. So if you've saved up all your receipts, you can just go put in the amounts. If you have a cool accountant, they might even help you max out, show you where you have like more wiggle room to spend more money on travel, more wiggle room to spend more money, so that you max out all of your taxes, so that you pay the least amount in taxes. The more you itemize, the lower your tax is going to be. So save all of your receipts. You will be surprised at how many things are write-offs when you are a self-employed business owner. If you are an independent contractor, that is the same thing as being a self-employed business owner. I know there's a lot of confusion around this, but it's very important to know that if you're an independent contractor, you are also a self-employed business owner. There is no difference. So there's confusion, and the state of California is cracking down on this, but independent contractors are not employees. You are, you run your own business, and then you provide a service. So as a therapist or coach, I have my own business, right? Let's say, I work for a company called Pineapple. So Pineapple Support provides mental health services to adult sex workers, adult performers. They give me a client, I see the client, and then I bill Pineapple to pay me. So Pineapple's my client too. So I'm the business owner, Pineapple's also a business owner. They give me the client, I bill Pineapple. So Pineapple's like a third party that I'm now billing. This can happen all the time. If you're a therapist or a coach, you may work for someone and also have your own business. See clients on your own, but also like some of the coaches that work at Last. They're independent contractors, but they also see clients on their own. And then they send me an invoice at the end of the month and say, here, you pay me for what I did. So an independent contractor is a self-employed business owner. I know it's very confusing for people, but that's the case, and that's what it is. When you get big enough, or you're busy, and you have more clients than you can handle, or you're selling courses, whatever, you may decide to hire people. You may decide to hire administrative staff. You may decide to hire other coaches, other therapists. You may decide to hire people to help you with your marketing, your social media, your tax accountant, an employment attorney. These are all write-offs, as well as people that you're gonna have to pay. So this is going into a whole nother section of self-employment, but it's important that when you do that, you really have all your ducks in a row. So make sure you already are paying your taxes before you start becoming an employer, and then you're gonna have to start doing payroll. And so make sure you'll have like a payroll place to do that. I'm not going to get into that, but I can definitely tell you, give you resources for if you want to like start your own group practice. There are a lot of really great resources for that.